Hi everyone and welcome back. Just finished the trade plan with the London members of the Price Action Traders Institute. Been through our plan, drawn up how we're going to be trading this morning, and I've already taken a few trades. Took a couple of trades before the London Open and still in those trades now. I'll quickly run through them so you can see what I'm doing and what stage I'm at right now. So the Euro US dollar, I've no trade on that. Euro Japanese yen, I took this earlier on as it came through one of our entry points. I took this at 0.7. Seen some Japanese yen weakness overnight, and that price is moving up still and holding there. So hopefully see that Japanese yen weakness continue. Like I said, I took this at 0.7 as it came through the entry point and holding that now. In fact, I've got some pips locked in on that one. So let's move on to the next one. Next trade I've taken is the Australian dollar, US dollar. We saw some Australian dollar strength overnight, and I took this as it came through entry criteria 82, and price is still holding above that where I entered, and hopefully see either weakness on the US dollar to move this up, or the Australian dollar strength. Next trade I took was the Australian dollar Japanese yen. Again, those Japanese yen moves, seen that come through 0.0 level there, and I'm pushing up towards 20. See if that can get up there and start managing it, moving my stop loss up to become a price stop. So start to lock in some profit soon. I took the AJ at 87. Again, as it hit one of our entry points, and looking for further upside movement on this. Canadian dollar Japanese yen, another one I took earlier. A little bit weaker this move. It's still in profit, showing profit at the moment. I took this one at 0.4. Again, looking for further upside movement. Hoping that it breaks that 20, then I can start pushing up my stop loss to become a price stop and managing this trade, locking in some profit. And the last trade I took was the New Zealand dollar US dollar. Just took this one. Not looking too great at the moment, but we'll see what happens on this. Still a bit of time left on this candle. Okay, I'll pause for now, and I shall be back very soon to let you know of any updates. Okay, just bringing you a quick update. We're seeing some reasonable price action this morning. Euro Japanese yen still moving up nicely, stayed well above that 20, and like I say, looking for that to go up towards 50. I've got my take profit at the moment, but I'll be keeping an eye on this. I've got 10 pips locked in on this, so 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio on this trade, which is good. Pound Japanese yen is a trade that I've taken. Came through our entry point, hovering around that 50 mark, so looking for that to break through that 50 and up towards 80. The Australian dollar US dollar moving up nicely. Again, we're seeing the Australian dollar strength, US dollar weakness, pushing it up towards that 0.0 and hoping for that to go through that, where I've got my take profit set at 2-to-1 at the moment, looking for 20 pip profit on that. But I'll keep an eye on that and see how that moves. If it starts to move a lot stronger, I may even move that take profit up towards the 20. But just keep an eye on that and see what the price action is like across the board. Australian dollar Japanese yen, again, that's through that 0.0. Came back down through it, but now it's back through there, and it seems to be holding at the moment. Looking for that to get up towards that 20 on the Australian dollar Japanese yen. The US dollar, Canadian dollar, took this a little while ago as it hit one of our entry points, and looking for further downside movement on this. I've got 20 pips marked up on this for a take profit. Again, 2-to-1 risk to reward, that's what I'm looking for. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. It's through that 20 level, seems to be holding at the moment. Seeing that Japanese yen weakness, looking for this to go up towards that 50 mark where I've got my take profit at the moment. And that is it. My New Zealand dollar US dollar trade that I took, it pulled back and I'm out of that. So I need to see a re-entry on that. I'm looking for a re-entry on that if that US dollar continues showing that weakness. So that's where I am at the moment. I lost 3 pips on that New Zealand dollar US dollar. I took the trade as it came through our entry point, pulled back, and we have a rule that states if it comes back below a certain point, then we just punch out of it. So small losses, bigger wins hopefully, and we always come out on top. So 3 pips down at the moment, holding a few trades with some good profits showing. I shall pause again and I shall be back very soon giving you an update as to what's happening. Okay, finally back with the Final update of this video. I had a distraction, I had to pop out, and so I didn't get a chance to finish this video earlier. I punched out of the trades that I had, and I should just run through each chart now, each screenshot that I've done, showing you where I ended up, what I ended up doing. So you can see the Euro US dollar, I took no trades on this, there was no entry criteria for me, and I didn't take any trades on this. Euro Japanese yen, you can see that I took 25 pips on this. Got into this trade at 0.7 down here as it came through an entry point that we use, and you can see that I punched out up here. I can say taking 25 pips on the Euro Japanese yen. The GU, pound US dollar, there was no trades for me to take on this. Throughout the London session, the time I was trading, there were no entry points that I could take, so I just stood aside on the pound US dollar. A pound Japanese yen, I took this one as it came through an entry point, and at the time I punched that, it was just showing a small profit, so I managed to get plus 6 pips on the pound Japanese yen. The Australian dollar US dollar, you can see I took a long on this as it came through an entry point, took this long at 82, and price rose on this, and when I punched out of this I ended up taking 10 pips, so 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio on the Australian dollar US dollar. Australian dollar Japanese yen, took this at 87, took this long again as it hit one of our entry points, and when I punched out of this I was up 16 pips, so that's more than 1-to-1 risk to reward on that. You can see the entry point here and where I got out up here, so the AJ gave me 16 pips. US dollar Japanese yen, there was nothing for me to do on this, no entry points while I was actually trading, so I just sat on the sidelines with that and didn't do anything at all with it. US dollar Canadian dollar, you can see I took a short on this, took this at 91 as it came through an entry point, and you can see where I punched out here for plus 7 pips on the US dollar Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar Japanese yen, took this at 0.4 as it came through an entry point here. This is one of the early trades that I took. Watch this go up, and by the time I got out of this I'd taken 17 pips, plus 17 pips, so again that's more than a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and you can see the exit point here for 17 pips. So Canadian dollar Japanese yen, 17 pips on that. And the final pair that I trade is New Zealand dollar US dollar. It's the only losing trade that I had this morning. You can see I got in here as it hit an entry point, pulled back, and the candle closed below a point where our rules, our criteria states that we have to punch out of a trade. So I punched out of that, losing 3 pips, just 3 pips on that. And so to sum up today's trading, you can see Euro Japanese yen plus 25 pips, pound Japanese yen I took 6 pips, Australian dollar US dollar 10 pips, Australian dollar Japanese yen 16 pips, US dollar Canadian dollar 7 pips, Canadian dollar Japanese yen 17, New Zealand dollar US dollar was the only losing trade today, minus 3, giving me a net total of plus 78 pips, and that equates to plus 3.05% on my capital. And I was only trading for approximately 2 hours this morning, not through choice. There was something I had to pop out for, and I had to punch out of the trades that I was in, but even so, 2 hours trading, 3.05% on my capital. If you're finding these videos useful, if they're helping you out at all, please remember to click on subscribe, which should be just below here somewhere, and that way you'll get a heads up. And also I think there's a little bell there, like a little alarm bell. If you click on that, you'll get the heads up as to when I post these videos, and hopefully you can gain from them, you can take something from them and learn a bit more about the way that we trade. You can follow me on Twitter. Every day that I trade I'll be posting live on Twitter, and you can see my entries, exits, wins and losses, and I always post my results at the end of each day. Also, if you'd like to find out about the way that we trade, you can find out more from my website, which is www.uktoasia.com. There's a link on there where you can find out more about the Price Action Traders Institute, Krompass, which is the criteria and the strategy that I actually trade with. Okay, thanks very much. Remember, please click on subscribe. You'll get the heads up as and when these videos come out. And I shall be back soon with another video. Thanks very much. See you soon.